I am Matheus from Trinasolar, and today we are here at our company's booth to present our new and recent results with PVEL. I am together with Mr. Tristan from PVEL, and he's going to talk with us about the recent news. Mr. Tristan, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on our booth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here.
Tristan, I would like to start off this meeting talking to you about the recent news that we have. Trinasolar is, for the 10th time, consecutive time, we are the top performer in the PVEL testings. And not only that, we achieved this top performance this year on 7 out of 7 testing. Could you comment a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so it's an excellent achievement. You know, PVEL, or Kiwa PVEL as we're now known, and as you mentioned, Trina's in a very unique position of being a top performer 10 years in a row. And your whole, history of products, you've submitted them for our rigorous testing, and you've achieved top performer status. And then, of course, this year, as you mentioned, the news that your Vertex N 720 watt was a top performer in all 7 tests in the 2024 PV module reliability scorecard. And that is a very unique achievement, and we are very pleased to congratulate Trina on that.
I really appreciate it in behalf of Trina. You said we achieved the 7 out of 7 as a top performer. Could you explain a little bit more on each one of them? What are the protocols, the procedures, slightly like an overview of each testing?
Well, backing up, for the product qualification program, you don't get to pick which tests you submit your modules to. You follow our testing program, which means you have to submit your modules to all of the tests. So if you wanted to, say, well, our module is really good in this one test, but not this other, we only want to do that one, that's not allowed. You won't be in the scorecard with that. It's also unique to the product qualification program that we do is that we go to your factory and see the samples being made. The samples that get shipped to our lab, we're there confirming what materials went into those modules. So once we receive the modules, then they're submitted to the various tests, and that includes thermal cycling. We go from minus 40 degrees Celsius up to plus 85, back down to minus 40, 600 times. Another test is our damp heat test. That's 85% relative humidity and 85 degrees for 2,000 hours. We have our mechanical load test, which puts pressure on the front and back of the module, and then it goes through climate chamber testing. We have our hail test that you also did well in, our LID and LETID test that you did well in, and then our PAN file, which is a performance test, where we measure the module's performance at different temperatures and different irradiances, and then put that in a simulation to see how the module performs based on our measured data. And to be a top performer, you had to have performance with the top 25% in energy yield. Okay. And you were a top performer in that too.
Well, we got the score,
yeah.
Right?
The point is that we're doing a wide variety of tests, yes. And we're looking at various known failure modes. And the one I forgot was potential induced degradation.
Wow.
So that's where we put 1500 volts on the frame of the module and see if there's any current leaking through the cells to the frame. And of course, Trina was a top performer in that test as well.
Well, thank you for noticing this and commenting on each one of the tests. It's good for our audience that they can understand this is a full circle testing, not only sending the modules, but also the PVEL team, they go to our factory and they analyze how we manufacture this, so they can ensure that they are testing real modules, not hand-picked modules, right? And my last question to you, how can you ensure a fairness and authority while you compare all these different companies, especially when you're comparing top-notch modules from top-notch brands? How can you ensure fairness and authority on these testing procedures?
So we do that by having a very well-defined process. And as I mentioned, we don't let the manufacturers pick and choose which tests. We've had some manufacturers say, well, I don't want to do the factory witness portion. I'll just ship you the modules like you would do for certification testing. They're allowed to do that, but that's not part of the PQP. It doesn't go into the scorecard. That would be a separate project. Okay. So we're saying, here's the testing, you have to do it, and it's testing that your buyers want, and that's how we've created fairness as well as created trust in the industry. You know, we have some manufacturers that don't do well in some tests, and they say, oh, I don't want that test in my report. And we don't allow that. You can't pick and choose.
Okay.
These are the results, and we treat everyone equally, and that's how we've developed, you know, a strong reputation. And that's why when we say, you know, Trina's a top performer, that's meaningful. You aren't able to, you know, basically materialize your own results. What we test is the results, and the Kiwa slogan is we create trust, and by treating everyone equally, we do create the trust. So that speaks even higher to the achievement of 10-time top performer and top performer in all 7 tests. It's meaningful.
It definitely is. For us, it's for you, it's for us, it's for our clients. So, Mr. Tristan, thank you so much to be here with us. It was an immense pleasure, and I hope to be discussing this again with you next year for the 11th time.
Yeah, we look forward to that, certainly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.